Streaming live.
Hey everybody, so if people could take their seats, and if anyone's left outside, we're going to get started in 1 minute. And here comes Mary Lou Sutters down the red carpet. Photographers turn to our Secretary of Health and Human Services. Come on in. Well, now it's official. Now that Mary Lou's here, we can start. Come on up.
Oh my God, you really do have a red carpet.
We do, we really do. Soon to be a major motion pictures by the city of Boston. So you can sit right next to the mayor. Thanks, Mary Lou. So we ready? Ready, set, go? Oh, one kiss. One kiss. You're allowed to kiss at victory programs. So I want to welcome everyone and thank you for coming to our Brookledge doorway celebrating the new Joelyn's family home in this huge heart of radiant Roxbury. There's a saying in Spanish, toco el cielo, and it means to touch the sky. And 10 years ago this month, we opened the first Joelyn's home on Boston's Harbor, Long Island, and I ended my remarks of that celebration with Toco el Cielo. So today we start where we end, because this journey to Roxbury is truly what it means to touch the sky. Goethe said, whatever you can do or dream, begin it, because boldness has genius and power and magic in it, so begin it now. So I'm Jonathan Scott, and on behalf of my business partner at Victory, if I'm the bricks, she's the mortar, amazing Sarah Porter, the entire Victory board, its chair extraordinaire Pam Feingold, and the genius and power and magic it took from so many here to dream this scheme from here to there. Rowboats of roses would hardly suffice for all you guests of honor, starting with the most honorable Mayor of Boston, Marty Walsh, and absolutely. And soon Governor Charlie Baker. But Mayor Walsh pressed the emerald green light for priority go, since life is what's at stake in this new home, named after a lady named Jo. And our first stake in the ground was a mere 42 years ago. I was really there in the stunning South End when it wasn't quite so stunning back then, June 75, and by hook or by crook, we built the first recovery site for Vietnam vets and discovered if you open a red doorway, they will come, walk, or run every day, anyway, ever since. Because the ache for home is in all of us, Maya Angelou said, and for 42 years, what's held the stake in the ground is that ache through struggles and stability, comebacks and setbacks, trials, triumphs, migraines, miracles. It's almost biblical. Short of locusts and frogs, we became an essential ache and found ways to let everyone in who needed to stay in our 18 different doorways, serving thousands of adults and children each year. In 42 years, we threw our stake in the ground. We faced nerves and fear. Can we really make something happen here? Defy the odds and reasonable doubt. Cassius Clay said, to be the greatest, you gotta dance like a butterfly, sting like a bee. So behold the greatest. Despite the odds and reasonable doubt, this home is a butterfly and a bee. So if your nerve deny you, go above your nerve. And the nerve it took to open this home in every one of our programs. And the only thing better than surviving is thriving. And the only thing better than thriving, Maya Angelou said, is elegant. And today we celebrate the elegant with a rainbow ribbon soon to cut and some delicious cake. And for clarification, our history hasn't always been a piece of cake. To get ahead of the exploding epidemic of opioids, to make something happen, housing first, to channel rage against AIDS, addiction, alcoholism, poverty, and racism, it's biblical in a sense. It's revelations, marches and rallies, and testing our vocal cords on Beacon Hill, and testing our stamina and will. It's letters to the press and pressing for rights. It's chanting crowds, solidarity, united, proud. It's packing the State House to the rafters for this cause or that, sometimes singing till we're hoarse. God bless America, of course. So, no, it hasn't always been a piece of cake running addiction treatment homes. But how sweet it is to say out loud, by hook or by crook, we all made something astounding today. New Joelyn's home for 24 women. The word is radiant. As the old woman in Capote's A Christmas Memory says, "Oh, buddy, I could leave the world with today in my eyes." All you buddies here now who put today in our eyes with your gorgeous shirts and your radiant names and lights, bright as Broadway, the staff, volunteers, and alumni of Victory who keep these doorways free and clear and safe when sometimes safe is just a hand to hold. Governor Baker, Marty Walsh, the spotlight's on you for another emerald in Boston's emerald necklace for addiction treatment. You all deserve your names in lights: Mary Lou Sutters, Crystal Cornegie, Roger Herzog, Sheila Dillon. You are a rose in the million for all your efforts with all the odds to beat. Your names are written in the big bluebird sky. Victor Gravio, Jen Tracy, my sister Stephanie, my husband Dr. Mike, and elected leaders of this district who stopped by. Representative Liz Malia, I'd follow you anywhere, Liz. And City Councilor Tito Jackson, for all your incredible community action. The word today for you is only gratitude. DPH Director Allison Bauer, who was here from the very first hour with grants in another lifetime before DPH, and the talent and power of our building team. E for excellent, Essex Builders, exceptional edifice. S for the steady and sensible Sarah Porter, Supremo Mark Davino. C for careful consulting of Connie Cogswell. And our courageous project manager, brilliant, talented Joy, otherwise known as Elizabeth Malloy, who took us from loss to bliss, side by side with our architect, who can take any wreck and magically restore whatever broken wings. Look how they soar. The design wizard, Michael Whitmore. So whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. Eastern Bank, who moves a mountain or maybe two. For social justice, the spotlight's on you. And Alicia Verity of Bank of America, too. And this show is starring you, Roxbury, right on cue, who welcomed us here. A cheer to Joyce Ferrier Bowling, Andrea Lang. Senator Diane Wilkerson outshines the sun. Louis, Alyssa, and everyone at Garrison Trotter. Mrs. Owens Cooper Scarrett of Sonoma Maple Schuyler. Priscilla Smith at Washington Heights. Pat Mayo for Franklin Park's tenants' rights. Marilyn Anderson Chase, our Hutchinson Street neighbors. Besides the United House of Prayer and the team in blue at Area 2. Community police. One hero for sure is Officer Moose Montero. Moose. There'll be that chant. All of you who have the nerve, who feel the ache, who discover, if you're lucky, the longest journey in life is only 6 inches, the distance from your head to your heart. Who discovers this when you play your big part? Out of the mud grows the lotus. Out of ashes rises the firebird. Out of the South End 42 years ago, we staked the ground for the lives at stake and opened the door with a little red paint, as red as a hot tomato, the first victory with the instant rep, bold as the sun. If you have someone with nowhere to go to the red door. They take everyone. In the ancient language of the Mayans, there's a sacred, lush land, Cien Can. It translates doorway to the sky. The ache for home brought us today to open this doorway to the sky and saw the sky's the limit, as our founder saw from day one, unlimited possibilities if you keep the promise to take everyone in. The sky's the limit, so don't limit yourself. Stake the ground to change the day in innovative ways to fight the opiate craze. If the sky's the limit, don't limit yourself to one Boston neighborhood or a single public health crisis. We manage a dozen at once. We'll train you in Narcan here, because no resident ever has to fear HIV, Hep C, TB, or near death from crystal meth, head injuries, post-traumatic stress. It's what we do best through the doorway here. Be the first to say, if the sky's the limit, don't limit yourself. Take in everyone for who they are. A diamond, a rose, a star. When the only limit is our nerve, go above the nerve. Take on projects no one else dares. Open a door, all deserving care. Go above the nerve to know these aren't the problems of governors or mayors. They are our community's answered prayers. The nerve it takes to finally reach the mountain peak and look over the landscape with today in your eyes, to gaze upward where the sky's the limit, to open this doorway and let everyone in, to dream the scheme, to dance like a butterfly or sting like a bee, to say out loud whatever it took by hook or by crook. We all made something essential happen today. The words feel good to say, and the only thing better than good is gorgeous, and everything beyond gorgeous is almighty awe. Even if the journey the last 42 years from time to time seems close to biblical, let's just say for today's sake between us, it was a swell piece of cake. You are here because you felt the ache and all the things that make the strongest person break, and brings you here as a last resort. Today's a kind of Joelyn's cheer. She was always precise with words. The first New York Times woman movie critic liked to boast what happened at victory programs, and places like it in the end matters the most. And what matters the most in the end, when the time has come to let go, all you've known and all you've touched and all the power concentrated in a 20-year AA medallion chip Joelyn clutched. They asked me to tell her before she goes, she was a very special rose, a spirit bigger than life. A home should be named after you. Please tell her that's what we want to do. And she heard my message loud and clear. Closed her eyes. Not a writer's word left to mince in the end. No humor, no wit to expend. Well, she said at last, that's really something, isn't it? I'll tell you what else is really something between you and me. The community of women and dedicated staff, starting from the first Joelyn's home to radiant Roxbury. Amazing Grace all the way. We communicate, commemorate, and dedicate this home to them today. For your journey can seem endless years from finish to start, or 6 inches long, the time it takes to travel from your head to your heart. And everyone here has done their part and told your stories, the long odyssey of addiction until the world began to listen and got us from there to here. We honor the storytellers and sellers of words and catchers of dreams, the writers and poets who help us scheme to see through the dark the truth is what it means. Beth Healy, David Abel, Megan Irons, Yvonne Abraham, Adam Riley, and Deborah Becker, everyone here has done their part. Everyone here has hit the mark. Lori Manzelli and Dee Dee Edmondson, you gave every bit of your heart. Opening this home today is even beyond the most eloquent writer's words. So listen to the language of birds. Toco el cielo, Joelyn wrote, her last day of life. If you reach up high enough, maybe once or twice in a life, you may be lucky enough to know what it feels like to touch the sky and see the perfect view and all you've done and all that's still left to do. This home is a fledgling bird with so many songs still to sing. Opening doorways is opening wings, light as air. It's all in the breeze, the magic there. Ready to rise, to rise, to rise, until someone says, look, she flies. Oh, buddy, I could leave this world with today in my eyes. Thank you. For nearly 25 years, I've known Mayor Marty Walsh. When he was a state representative, he always voted first for AIDS funding, first for addiction treatment funding, first for equal marriage, and first for so many critical social issues that matter the most. He is our first mayor of Boston to open an office for recovery services, connecting all residents living with addiction to recovery programs and hope and doors like this. It is said the ties that bind are stronger than those that tear us apart. All is well always. For our mayor in this big emerald city who ties each Boston community together and lets them shine, our deepest gratitude to Mayor Walsh and his exquisite team for their partnership in opening this new recovery home in the huge heart of radiant Roxbury, a home where all is well, always. Thank you for today, Mayor of Boston, Marty Walsh.
I was just talking to Mary Lou Sutters, and Mary Lou leans into me and says, whoever has to follow Jonathan, good luck. And I'm looking at the governor's advance. I'm like, where is he?